The Birth of Evil. I was watching it was a lecture. It was a lecture about the birth of evil. And there's a professor on YouTube, his channel, Predictive History. Professor, I don't want to mispronounce his name. Look up Predictive History. This episode, I'm going to be doing more of a psychological breakdown that my mind had. Watching his videos, initially, what grabbed my attention for his videos was when there was an issue with Iran, Israel, something was going on. There was World War III in the headlines in the news, and his video sort of, I guess I kind of understood what he was talking about a little bit. It was interesting. I found it very interesting, but I couldn't really comprehend at that time what the intricacies of what he was saying. It made sense, and I'd heard and I knew what the words he was saying in the videos in the beginning. But the more I watch, and similar with these videos, if you find this stuff interesting or intriguing and you might not really understand fully what I am trying to communicate, keep watching the older videos, rewatch them, and that's what I've been doing with this predictive history. And I'm going to make this channel also a breakdown of what I've learned, a breakdown of what I feel about things, how I interpret things, and I will synthesize them on this channel. And I would love feedback. And I have a private group as well. The link is in the description. Join it. If not, I don't care. This video is more so for my great grandkids who will, want to understand something, like hearing something from Alex Jones, like screaming about the pedophile rings, this, that, the politicians are doing this, sacrifice, child sacrifice, human, like actual stuff that there's proof behind, and you hear it from someone like Alex Jones, and he has been turned into a clown, and he said some ridiculous things. I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. The source of his credibility, there's not much. He is put as a conspiracy theorist. So when you hear the same information that Alex Jones and all of these, you know, all of these ideas about the truth, about what is actually going on behind the scenes, getting a sneak peek into it and actually hearing it from, a professor who from Yale, and he's Chinese and he's in China, and you don't think there's any biases because he has no sponsors in the videos. It's just he's teaching a class, and you kind of learn more about this person. And I encourage you to do this with anyone you follow online, you're learning from, or, find, sometimes I'll find something interesting about a topic, and I'll learn more about the person that is speaking about that topic. Like with this professor, predictive history. I'm gonna learn your name. I'm sorry, but I'm make a whole separate video about that. This video, I wanted to go into how his videos kind of made me question things. It made me realize how, okay, there's one way of viewing the world. There's one way how we grow up in a system, school, brainwashing, and it's all you know. And you get older, and you know things you've heard of. Okay, that his dad, you're in middle high school, you hear, oh, his dad made a bunch of money doing this crazy business, and you're like, he didn't even go to college, and it just seems like you hear these stories, and then you also hear stories of, someone can say something new in a very authoritative tone and make you believe it if you are at a age or inexperienced, or even if you have experience, you have the knowledge. Sometimes, someone says this route in life, you have to become a doctor, and every other career is gonna be obsolete. What if there's another COVID? Like, I've had people tell me, like, the only career that's stable in the world, if the world is falling apart, would be a doctor's career, and the only thing to do in life is to be a doctor, because that has the best job security. And yeah, someone can say that to you, and I've heard this so many times by, family members, parents, back in the day when, they were implicitly trying to push me towards medicine, and I almost fell for that trap. Thankfully, I didn't. But some people are meant to be doctors, others are maybe, forced into it. And, I hear stories where, they hate it afterwards and they wish they were a truck driver. I wish this and that. I get it, but you need to make money somehow in this Kali Yuga world that we're living in. Um, so that's a whole other topic. I'm not saying any career is bad. I'm just saying that you shouldn't think that one career is, if the world is ending, I have a job. If the world is ending, I don't think the job market is, I don't think I would care about, I have a job. Okay, if the world is ending, I mean, COVID happened. Yeah, people, a lot, there's a whole talk about what happened. There's the truth behind things and what they show us. And that's another thing with predictive history is like you see how he thinks about his analysis of, Christianity, the world, geopolitics, this and that. And you sort of see this breakdown in how he thinks, and you can kind of start thinking like how like someone you admire, like with this professor. The way he thinks about things is very interesting, and I've never heard that topic of Christianity talked about in such an interesting way. Usually in school and this and that, maybe I was at a lower paradigm level to not really be able to input the information. Now someone can literally say something so simple that back a couple years ago I'd be like, yo, why did I even watch this video? Like he just said, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Okay, like what am I? That's a stupid, more of a simple Hamza reference, but there's a deeper meaning to it at a certain levels in your life. And I'm not saying I'm at a crazy highest spiritual enlightenment. I'm on the first few steps, and I'm telling my great grandkids who are hopefully watching this how I'm slowly starting to be more aware. How even a year ago, the way I felt about certain things, I got kicked out of a Universal Studios with my family. Look, I was 26 years old at the time. It was Christmas time last year. We're about the second day Universal Studios. Fun. First day it was amazing. Now we're about to go to the second day. I think it's a Harry Potter. And I get like something, I'm going in and I'm recording a video, trying to a Snapchat video. This is another thing is like my emotions are feeling good and bad. Like I'll feel bad, like angry, but I'll get over the emotion so quickly. And same I've noticed with feeling excited. I'll feel excited about something, but then I'll get over it really quickly. So I guess my processing of emotions is going faster, but it makes you feel numb in a way, because it's like I'll feel good, I'll feel anxious, but then I'll feel back to baseline, back to baseline, back to baseline, and it's just this baseline. And that happens over time through trauma, maybe experience. But getting kicked out of Universal, I was filming this and that, and then the lady's like, you can't film during security. And I get it, they don't want you filming the security process. I was just making a video of myself. I got my jewelry on. I used to be into a lot of jewelry back in the day, and I still love jewelry, but I was a little too much. So I was filming that, and then I get triggered because this lady tells me to stop filming and this and that, you need to delete it. And I felt offended that someone told me that I need to delete a video off my phone. I caused this scene, and I can make a whole separate video about that and my anger issues, and I will make more videos. If you want more specific videos if you find this stuff interesting, I would love feedback. If not, I don't care. I'm still gonna keep making these videos for my great grandkids to see eventually, to learn from. And I wish I had videos of my great grandfather, ancestor from thousands of years ago, just some record of what they thought and what their way of thinking was. You know how crazy that would be? So that's why I'm making these videos. I'm not trying to sell anything. It's not like any type of link in the bio to sell you something. This just, I'm providing some value that I would have liked to have had maybe a couple years ago if I was even able to understand. So, getting kicked out of Universal Studios, and now thinking back, it's like at that point in my life, I thought I was an enlightened being and nothing could affect me, this and that. And now I'm not saying I am at that level either, or I'm at a higher level. I do believe I'm slowly progressing up the spiral dynamic, spiral and ego stage development. I do believe everyone is, if you are putting in the effort and becoming more conscious about your thoughts and how you think those thoughts create emotions, and the inputs into your nervous system, and how the input turns into this like combobulation of chemicals that create this nebulous weird emotion that you call an emotion. And it's like putting a finger on why that was created can be very confusing, and that's another reason why I want to spew these thoughts into a camera and have it recorded. I'm going to leave it at that. If you found this even a bit interesting, leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you didn't like, or what you liked, or what you'd like to hear. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Hare Krishna.